Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Forget the frustration of picking commerce platforms when you switch your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling wherever you sell. With Shopify, you'll harness the same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/tech.
Let's hang out. Let's hang out. And let's talk about what lessons about. Let's hang out. And let's listen to two lesbians shout. Let's hang out. Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Hang Out, the podcast where you get a pata shoe and you get a pata shoe and everyone gets a pata shoe.
Amazing. You can get that if you email us at leshangoutpod. We will send you your pata shoe.
From the West Coast, I'm Lee Holmes Foster.
And from the East Coast, I'm Ellie Brigida. To those of you who have been with us through this whole journey, thank you as always for listening. If you're a new listener, welcome. We're excited to have you here.
And we are even more excited to bring you a special bonus episode. We don't do a lot of bonus episodes, so this is like a
Very
special Christmas treat for everyone, where we are going to be discussing Under the Christmas Tree with the stars Elise Bauman and Tattiawna Jones.
So exciting. Lifetime's upcoming LGBTQ holiday movie, Under the Christmas Tree, is the network's first movie centered on a lesbian holiday romance. It follows the story of marketing whiz Alma Beltran, played by Elise Bauman, and Christmas tree whisperer Charlie Fremont, played by Tattiawna Jones, whose paths cross when Charlie finds the perfect tree for the Maine governor's holiday celebration right in Alma's backyard.
And while they initially spar, sparks soon begin to fly between the two women as the enchanting tree and some Christmas fairy dust from the town's pâtissière extraordinaire, Ricky Lake, bring out the best in them and spark each other to take leaps of faith and fight for love and Christmas magic. The movie Under the Christmas Tree is produced by Neshama Entertainment in association with Mar Vista Entertainment and Wishing Floor Films, and it is executive produced by Danielle Von Zernick, Larry Grimaldi, Hannah Pillemer, Fernando Zhu, Suzanne Berger, and Annie Zapersky, and Lisa Rose Snow directs from a script by Michael J. Murray.
And like we said before, we have two very special guests with us today, the stars of the film, Elise Bauman and Tattiawna Jones. Welcome. Hi.
Thank you, guys.
Hi.
Yes, this is your cue. Now you say hi.
Action.
They've been waiting so patiently. We are so excited. Thank you so much for being here today. Under the Christmas Tree is a really exciting movie for all of us in the LGBTQ community. It's Lifetime's first movie centered on a lesbian holiday romance. Actually, 10 Lifetime movies this year include LGBTQ characters, which is incredible. Last year's The Christmas Setup was the network's first LGBTQ holiday movie, but its story focused on two gay men. So, Elise and Tattiawna, how does it feel to be in Lifetime's first lesbian Christmas movie?
No pressure.
Yeah. Long pause. Go ahead, Elise. Go ahead.
I mean, it's super fun and exciting. I watched the Christmas setup before we filmed this, and it had me in stitches. I was like laughing a lot, and I think something that's really like lovely and special about these movies that are so wholesome is that we get to kind of maybe introduce a younger audience to something that they might not normally get to see, and who these movies are reaching, and the cable homes. And so I'm really excited that, you know, people might come across this who might not know queer people in their lives or might not have as much of an introduction into queer life. And so that's really exciting and special to me. Yeah.
What about you, Tattiawna?
It's great when any marginalized story gets told. It's amazing when there's representation. So, you know, we don't get to a lot to see it. So now we get to see it, and that's fantastic.
You're so right, Tattiawna, because Lifetime is known for diversity, having inclusivity in its movies, as well as having like just authentic stories, I think. So what was this like? What was the experience like? And maybe walk us through a little bit of how you ended up getting involved with the movie. How did you end up here? What got you here? We want to know.
Elise is fantastic at answering all these questions. I'm literally like, go Farty. She's bomb. Even when we were doing this stuff on set, she's wonderful.
How did we end up here? It's really funny. I think a lot of people don't quite realize how fast the film and TV industry works. And so I was on set for another production while also working full-time as a personal assistant to a producer at the time. When my agent called me and was like, here's the offer. We sort of knew that it was in the air and a possibility. And so he said, okay, we have the offer. We have, I think, 24 hours to respond. And so I was like frantically in between takes trying to like work my job as a PA while also trying to read this script. And it was sort of like a mad dash.
How long was shooting? Like, how long was the process?
Of shooting the movie?
Yeah.
We shot for about a month, I think. So it was also
Was it a month? It was like two-ish weeks. Girl, where were you?
What? No. Time flies when you're having fun. I don't know. I mean, we were in Ottawa we were staying in a retirement home, so I felt like I was on that beach that makes you old. Like the concept of time went out the window. I was like, I don't know what day it is anymore.
It's been 84 years in Ottawa.
But maybe it was like three weeks.
So we're saying somewhere in between a month and 2 weeks.
And 2 weeks.
Between there is how.
Look at that compromise. So beautiful. We'll never know. We'll never know how long it truly was.
But it's funny. We filmed the Christmas movie in late August, early September. Wow. Honestly, the concept of time, who knows what that is anymore. I just remember towards the beginning of the shoot, decked out in like multiple sweaters and jackets, just absolutely boiling on set, pretending to be cold. Like the notes were always like, just try to make it look like you're colder.
Like wipe the sweat away and look chilly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's filming in Canada. You're either like in a bikini in January pretending that it's the summer, or you're filming a Christmas movie in September.
Insane. What about you, Tattiawna? What was your experience like for casting and filming?
It was the same. I love acting. So it was another opportunity for me to get to do something that I love. And the fact that I get to play a lesbian on screen, extra exciting for me. So I get to bring everything I know about that to this character. And yeah, it was wonderful.
That's awesome. Yeah, we'd love to talk to, because we know that the Under the Christmas Tree cast, crew, and creatives included a lot of people from the LGBTQ community, including the two of you, which is amazing. And queer representation both in front and behind the camera was an essential element of this film. How do you think that leads to the authenticity of the story that you're telling? Elise, do you want to start again, or Tattiawna?
Sure.
Tattiawna's just going to wait you out on every question.
Yeah, I think there's something. I mean, I just automatically feel more comfortable around queer people, I think. And so having, our director, Lisa Rose Snow, and our DOP, Gail Yee, both fantastic, amazing, creative people, having a lot of those key positions filled with queer people just made me inherently trust the process more and feel like I could be more comfortable to like speak out about stuff on set and say like, especially in the process of selecting wardrobe, oftentimes when you're going in for something that's, if you're not the lead, you often really don't have a lot of control or say. And so it was really nice to feel like it was a collaborative process to find these looks and to find these styles. And, a lot of times they would ask like, well, what would you wear in this case? And I really pushed for the hoodie under the jacket.
I'm like, that's pretty much what you're wearing right now.
Yeah.
I was just like, what can I buy off of wardrobe after this? But having things that I just inherently felt more comfortable wearing made it feel more possible and more easeful to do the work I found. especially someone who's like my own style has changed so much over the years. And so to step into clothes on set that I didn't want to like immediately rip off my body after cut was called, that's been something that I've been, finding to be really freeing in my work lately to feel like just more myself in something. And so honestly it was just like so much fun. Like we had such a fun group of people, and everything just felt very natural and comfortable, and that was great.
What about you, Tattiawna? Because I'm curious, when watching the movie too, like it's always fun when you watch things where you know that like queer people are getting to play queer characters. I'm always curious, like, did you feel like you were trying to have your character kind of feel comfortable for you, or like take the opportunity to be like, I can play a whole different gay than I am in day-to-day life,
So for anything that has to do with any character, I just go to my process. I just rely on my process, and that carries me all the way through. And I only know what I know. So that's what I can do, is bring that to the depth that I can to my character. So I can only be the gay that I am. I can't be another different gay. But the more rep, the better. So it's great having all kinds of LGBTQ peeps on the set, because there's just so many more minds feeding into the story.
I love that. Were there any specific moments in the movie? I mean, for me watching it, there were a lot of moments that felt very authentically queer, but for you, like, were there any moments that you were like, this scene, like, yes, it's similar to other Lifetime movies because it's like cheesy and romantic and we're doing all of these like Lifetime tropes, but were there scenes that you were like, this is just so gay? Do you know what I mean?
And without too many spoilers, because of course everyone
not too many spoilers,
hasn't seen the movie yet, but
not too many spoilers, but you know what I
right.
mean? Like, there were some moments, at least for me. I'm curious what the moments were for you.
That were typically gay? Is that what you...
Or just like you're like having this interaction and you're like, yes, this is a cheesy Lifetime romance, but it's a cheesy gay Lifetime romance. Like, you couldn't necessarily have this exact moment in a heterosexual Lifetime film. Do you know what I mean?
Do you want me to name one, Ellie?
Yeah, you can name one.
And again, I don't want to give away too many spoilers. I'll just say there's a joke in The Cherry Picker that to me was like, so it was just such a moment where I was like, oh, I love it. I love having like just authentic queer jokes. Like, that felt very relatable. And I'm like, yes, I know, like, we would make that joke,
Definitely. I honestly, like, that was that was one of the lines reading the script that I was like, okay, I have to do this movie. That was really funny. Also, when I was watching the Christmas setup, the movie that Lifetime did last year, there were also just like all of these jokes that I was like, a queer person watching this is gonna inherently get that and understand that and think it's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, a Missouri mom who's watching it in the like, she might not necessarily get that, and that's fine at this point. Like, I think that's kind of the beauty of these films, is that it's like a really gentle invitation to some, and then also it still doesn't alienate the queer community within that process of trying to reach out and extend an arm to people who might not normally watch a queer film.
Speaking of moments that are like authentic queer experiences that maybe aren't going to be like quite as immediately recognizable, but that I don't think are like, not accessible to people who do not have like a strong queer foundation that they're building on. We wanted to talk about the gay panic scene. So the first time that Alma meets Charlie, so your character meets Tattiawna's character.
We call this the gay panic scene. I don't know if we both call it the gay panic scene,
right? Because that's what's happening. There's that moment where you're like, oh no, pretty girl. And like, and you can see the like dual side of like, help, and also like, but maybe, right? So that also felt super relatable to us. So like, tell us a little bit about that. Have you had the gay panic in real life, or what was the process of like going into that scene?
Oh my God.
I think I have gay panic every day of my life. Just in a constant state of dread all the time. It was funny. I watched the movie yesterday for the first time, and it was funny watching that scene, and I was like, wow, I like immediately get so like bro-y around her. Like my like I like my voice drops, and I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. Don't worry about it. Like, while I'm like inherent just like so clearly panicking. I thought it was quite funny.
Hashtag relatable content, Elise. People are gonna love it. What about you, Tattiawna? Because you got to be on the receiving end of the gay panic. Which side do you usually find yourself on in real life?
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with Elise. There's nothing cool about me. I'm panicking 24/7. Yeah.
It's totally okay. We're all there with you.
Yeah.
I feel like there's also like a few gaydar moments, right? Where it's like, I like the fact too that the movie, like, it's very clear that like both of you are queer women and like that's like how you've come into this story, right? It's not really like a coming out narrative. It's just like these two queer women who meet each other. So like, I guess my question is like, do you have good gaydar?
Ooh.
Like, would you have clocked each other in real life, or it's just because you're in the movie?
Oh, like would I see Tat and be like, "That's a queer woman"? For
Yeah.
sure. Like, have you seen her? Like,
Yes.
Definitely.
I sleep in a pair of docs. What can I say?
It's funny because like your character, like Charlie definitely takes, I think, the more like confident, like she's the one who's a little bit more like, I know what I'm going for here, and I'm
Yeah.
going for the win. So
Yeah, whether it's the Christmas tree, whether it's Alma, she's gonna get it.
Yeah. I have terrible. I'm terrible at all of it. I'm terrible at all of it. So
but you sold it so well. You sold it so well in the movie, you know?
thank you very much.
Were you
Sign of a good
panicking
actor.
while doing it?
Yeah.
Was it just like
No, because that's it. Like when inside of action and cut, I have my process to rely on, and that's where I know, and then I can panic in an artistic way, as opposed to in life where, like that's not as guaranteed. But luckily, I can draw from that outside panic and put it inside, and so yeah, it's all fodder.
Agreed.
Oh,
Very,
man.
very, very good acting. We would never have believed otherwise.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. And as we head into Thanksgiving time, I want to start by thanking my wife, Kelsey, who has not only listened to just about every episode of this podcast for 8 seasons now, but who also is the only reason I'm able to make time to record it every week. She takes the kids, gets them dinner, and gets them ready for bed just so that Ellie and I can come on and yell about gay things into each other's faces for an hour. So here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people you're grateful for in your life, including yourself. I've been in therapy for a long time now, and one thing that's so important about therapy is how it teaches you to be more intentional. And being intentional about gratitude and how to show that to the people you appreciate is just one of the many benefits that I've gotten from therapy over the years. If you've been thinking of starting therapy, consider giving BetterHelp a try. I know how hard it can be to find time for regular therapy, and BetterHelp is designed to be flexible and convenient for your schedule. You can fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you want to start being more intentional about gratitude in your life, visit betterhelp.com/letshangout today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/letshangout.
Let's hang out.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Shifting a little money here, a little there, and hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can be a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll help you find options within your budget. Try it today at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. And when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. And when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
There's also this amazing scene. I know we're not going to give too many spoilers, but you have this gingerbread competition. You're both very competitive in it. Love that scene. Are you both competitive in real life? Like, would you have been as intense as you were in this gingerbread scene?
Oh, absolutely.
Embarrassingly. Yeah,
Oh,
embarrassingly.
for
It's
sure.
not okay.
So that whole
Like
scene was
shoving children to the floor, just like getting the material you need. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
kids can. I don't care. It's me in the first place ribbon or nothing.
Guess you should have gotten bigger before this, huh?
drink more milk.
Oh man, they were like in the script. It said something like Alma prepares for this gingerbread competition, and Enrico, who plays my dad in the film, who also played my dad previously.
Yeah, it was a fun throwback. I think a lot of fans are gonna enjoy that.
It was so wonderful. When I found out it was him, I was like, what? But something that I do with my own dad is that I like make him spar with me. And so we were kind of like sparring in the film to like, hype me up for this gingerbread competition. And I told my dad about it and he was like, oh, that's very sweet. It was really cute.
I love it. And Tattiawna, you're pretty competitive too.
Oh yeah, I should probably be in a meeting somewhere. Like that's, yeah, I'm definitely a competitive person. I'm having more grace with it now, but yep, there's still lots of room for improvement.
I would love to be a fly on the wall for that meeting. I just feel like that would be a very interesting meeting to attend.
You're not a fly on the wall. It's mandatory that you come to that meeting. It's mandatory.
Court sanctioned.
I feel like too, like the people in the meeting will be competing with each other of like, I'm actually doing better at this recovery than you. You know what I mean? And then everyone's
Or like, I'm way more competitive than you are.
Yeah. Like you think you need to be here, I need to be here the most. And you're like, yeah, people, calm down.
Oh man.
So bad.
So you got to bring a lot of yourselves to the parts. We love it.
Speaking of also like classic Christmas films, White Christmas is one of my favorite movies ever. Watch it every single Christmas. And Alma says that her gay awakening was Vera Allen in White Christmas, which I loved. Did either of you have a gay awakening to a Christmas movie?
Not to a Christmas movie. I'm trying to think if there was any. I never really watched Christmas movies. I probably shouldn't admit that in this interview.
We'll cut it.
But
Just take it again. I love Christmas movies.
Love Christmas. Number one fan. Shannon Sosimon in all those like early 90s or like mid 90s movies, her sort of like string of rom-coms that she did, she was definitely part of my queer awakening, I would say. And listen, if she had been in a Christmas movie, maybe I wouldn't have spent so long in the closet. Who knows?
True.
Like Christmas could have been my favorite time of year.
Exactly.
What about you, Tattiawna?
I can't say that I had a gay awakening to a Christmas movie. No, I'm not part of that. I'm not part of that club. I think my awakening was all kinds of things over a period of time, but yeah, so I can't say that it was a Christmas movie related.
But maybe we will be the gay awakening for like
Yes.
a young queer child.
I love
How
it.
exciting would that be? That would be great.
Maybe,
Yes.
yeah.
I think that's what's so great about having it on Lifetime, like you said before, that it is going to expose like these stories to a wider audience, and it is so wholesome that it could be like, yeah, like there's like a young queer teenager who's watching it, doesn't even know they're queer, and they're like, oh, I wish that I could have this type of like lifetime love, or like it's so sweet. I love that.
Well,
I'm
and
sure you
even,
will.
like gay awakening or not, it's even just like, because we're getting into the Christmas season with like our kids right now, and you start to realize, like, again, as we do with so much of the things like books and shows and whatever, that like you start exposing them to, and you're like, and there's just Mr. and Mrs. Claus, and everyone, it's very heteronormative. Everything is always like, like his and her together. And like, it's just fun to imagine, like, as they get older, having movies that are just Christmas movies that you can show them and be like, and look, just like your mom's, like two women falling in love at Christmas, the same way that like every other movie has people falling in love at Christmas. Like it's just, listen, are we going to say representation matters again? Because no one's ever heard that from us before.
It's important. Am I going to say I'm about to cry again? Yes, it's fine. Everything's beautiful.
It's not an episode of our podcast until Ellie cries.
Yeah, exactly. It's like on our like Let's Hang Out bingo card. Like, did Ellie cry this week? But it's okay.
It reminds me, earlier you guys asked something about, a scene that would maybe fit the mold of a Lifetime Christmas movie, but is, inherently queer. And one of my favorite scenes that was shot was, without giving too much away, this really beautiful scene between Tat's character and my dad, where they get to sort of like share this bond together in this private little moment. And it was so beautifully done between the two actors. And me just like watching this character of my girlfriend and this character of my father like share this really sweet, intimate moment together was really moving because, I was like, oh, I haven't actually like seen that in my own life yet. And so seeing that, introducing my girlfriend to my parents for the first time tomorrow, woo, and
exciting,
and like seeing this moment on screen between like my girlfriend character and this father, I was like, oh, that's so beautiful. And I want young kids to see this movie sort of accidentally. They just like they stumble into their living room and it's like their mom's playing it on the TV. Like that would be my dream. And they're like, what's this? But I also really want parents to watch this movie because I think it's just like a really beautiful example of just love for their kid. And there's no, there's no struggle and there's no working through things to get to the place. And I think that's important to see too, but to just have, a positive example for parents to be like, oh, maybe it's not that hard. maybe I just love my kid for, I don't know. Yeah.
What a concept.
What a concept.
Yeah.
But the real question, Elise, is has your girlfriend taken all the piano lessons to like have that, to prepare for that moment in real life,
No spoilers.
Oh my goodness.
No spoilers. There's no piano involved.
spoilers.
I don't know what's happening.
I just saw,
Shout out to the doubles though. Shout out to those
beautiful
killer
hand
piano
acting.
players. Killer piano players, yeah.
It just reminds me of that scene in, I don't know if you guys have seen The Power of the Dog yet. There's this piano scene that's very famous in this movie, and it's quite funny. But if you haven't seen it, you won't get it. Never mind.
Okay.
Haven't seen it, but it's okay.
What about you, Tattiawna? Are there scenes for you that feel, kind of like similar to other like Christmas movies, other Lifetime movies, but that like stand out to you as like having their own unique, just a little queerer flavor to them here?
Yeah, I think you exactly said it. I think it's totally in vein with Christmas movies, and it has that Christmas movie feel. And then I'm going to say something groundbreaking, but representation matters, and
Have you considered like getting that copyrighted so no one else can steal it? Because that's
I googled
new
it.
and I
It's
love
not-
it, and that's really important.
We'll just have to get T-shirts instead.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, and the fact that it is two women, and that story gets to be told. That is what makes it unique in terms of Christmas movies. Yeah.
Ellie, I know you have like the one last question that we're trying to get to, but I thought of another one that I want to sneak in first.
Great.
Very importantly, have you two thought of, or has anybody already come up with the ship name for Alma and Charlie? Is there a ship name there?
Oh,
Like-
I hadn't even thought of that.
You gotta have a
you
ship
guys?
name.
I feel like that's a
we-
leading question.
Yeah.
We haven't, but we can now if you need us to. Ellie and I are actual experts on ship names, as any listeners of our show.
Tat, do you know Tat? I
will
know
be aware.
Tat. I know Tat well, and I feel like Tat might not know what a ship is.
I literally just cut up. I was like, "There's no ship in the thing," but now
So
I get
okay,
it.
so
Now
a
I
ship
get it.
is when you have two characters that you want to like see in a relationship, or you like imagine them being in a relationship, and usually when you name them, it's like a portmanteau of like their two names smashed
Okay,
together, right?
so like
Yeah.
Alma and Charlie, Chalma
Charlie.
Yeah, there you go.
or Arlie. Is that
Yes.
that's how it goes?
That's how
Yes,
it goes. That's
exactly. You did it
That's how it goes.
perfectly. You're an expert
Nailed it.
now.
Could we just
Nailed
stick with
it.
our last names? I feel like it's a very queer thing to like. I love when people call me by my last name.
Oh, you
People
know,
call me
you would get
Bauman.
Belmont. You get Belmont out of the last names.
Ooh, that's
Belmont.
good.
That's nice.
Oh yeah, I
Belmont.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there.
That's good.
There you go.
We've done it. We've
Beltran and
just
Fremont,
created
Belmont.
We can
Great.
Yeah, we can put that on the back of the soccer
That way,
jerseys.
everyone's ready. Everyone's ready to live tweet this movie when they watch it. Hashtag Belmont, okay?
Oh, boy.
Belmont
Great.
shippers in the house.
Thank you.
You
We
heard it
just
here
want
first.
the internet to be prepared. That's all.
They have to be
Oh
ready.
man.
But yes, I do have one more question for you. And Elise, I think you've sort of addressed this, but I'll ask it again, which is just like, what's the one thing you want people to take away from the movie? After they've seen it, what do you want them to take away from it? Tattiawna?
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do this one first. I just, if any part of it resonates, that's great. If at any point when watching it you see yourself, then we've done something.
Yeah, I mean, I've said I hope that younger kids stumble into the room and watch this. Big dreams. I hope like a Mississippi mom is watching this and is like, you know what? I think I need to leave my husband for my nutritionist, like my hot nutritionist. That's my gay agenda for this movie.
And listen, if you are that Mississippi mom, we want you to send us an email afterwards and tell us all about your journey. Let's hang out
You
at
too
gmail.com.
could be featured on.
No pressure.
We love a late bloomer who has been influenced by a Lifetime film. Yes. Amazing. We both absolutely love the film. We know that queer audiences are going to love it. Like you said, also just like Lifetime movie watchers are going to love it as well. So if you are listening to this, you can watch Under the Christmas Tree. It premieres on Sunday, December 19th at 8/7 Central on Lifetime. It's an important part of Lifetime's epic 35 movie. It's a wonderful Lifetime holiday movie lineup. And you can watch it if you have cable. You can stream it on mylifetime.com and the Lifetime app. I know we will be watching it with some of our Let's Hang Out patrons.
Yes. We're going to have a Les Centrals viewing party live because we want everyone to be tuning in and watching. So we hope that you're all going to do it. And we also want to remind everyone that our full episode recap, our Les Centrals episode on the movie, is going to be coming out on Monday right after it airs. So you'll get all of our very detailed thoughts that Ellie and I have, plus our original Les Essentials song based on it that you're not going to want to miss. We want to let all of our Canadian listeners know, because we know we have a bunch of you up in Canada who listen, that you can also watch it on December 22nd at 8 p.m. on CTV. So listen, do not miss it. Do not miss this. We can't recommend it enough. And we're so excited to have had Elise and Tattiawna join us. Thank you both so much for coming to chat with us about it. Tell our listeners where they can find both of you, or anything else that we missed about where they can find the movie.
Thank you guys so much for having us. Thank you.
You're
I won't
so
speak
welcome.
collectively. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Yeah, I'm getting better at that.
Tat, where can we find you?
That's a very good question. At Tattiawna, that's Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that Instagram?
Yeah.
I'm bad, guys. I have no idea. But yes, that's Instagram. And if that's Instagram, then that's where you can find me.
Great.
And mine is at Bauman Elise. That's my last name and my first name. And thank you guys for having us. This is really fun.
Thank you. We're so excited for the movie.
So excited for people to see it.
Gonna be great.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks again to Elise and Tattiawna for joining us for this bonus episode. And remember, tune in to Under the Christmas Tree. It premieres on Sunday, December 19th at 8/7 Central on Lifetime.
And remember, you can find us on all social medias. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok at Let's Hang Out Pod.
You can email us at letshangoutpod@gmail.com.
Or check out our website at letshangoutpod.com.
Whatever app you use for podcasts, make sure you subscribe so you'll be the first to know when new episodes drop.
If you want to help support the podcast, remember you can find our Patreon at bit.ly/lespatreon. And as a reminder, all of our patrons get to join us for our Les Essentials viewing parties, which includes the viewing party that we are going to have for this movie, Under the Christmas Tree, as it airs live on Lifetime on December 19th. So you have until December 19th to become a patron if you want to hang out with us for that. Once again, bit.ly/lespatreon.
We cannot wait. If you want to find us individually, you can find me at Ellie Brigida on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LSH Foster.
With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Lee.
And let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
Hi, I'm Laura Cathcart Robbins, and I am the host and creator of the podcast Only One in the Room. Every week, my co-host Scott Slaughter and I invite you to join us and lose yourself in someone's incredible Only One story. We talk to real people dealing with issues like infertility, the death of a loved one, human trafficking, and women who, fake it. Oh, and we want to be fair, so we talk to celebrities too. Emmy winners like actor John Cryer, supermodels like Amber Valletta, and rock stars like Ryan Dusick. Everyone is invited to share their Only One story with our listeners. With 21 seasons and counting, we guarantee you that Only One in the Room has a story that you'll connect with. This podcast is for anyone who has ever felt alone in a room full of people, which is to say that this podcast is for everyone. Download Only One in the Room on Apple or Spotify today.